Hello, how are you? And welcome back to FM20, or it's here, it's finally released. Football Manager 2020 is out. The beta, as you can see in the right hand corner, this is the beta version, so there could be funny bugs or anything like that. But the beta is out. I'm super excited, I can't wait. I've started up my game, I've done the leagues, everything like that. And this is the first screen you get to after you've done all that. As you can see, we've taken over Aston Villa. The team I did in the sort of beta, first team I did last season, obviously, and then I had to stop it when my daughter was ill and that sort of stuff. We'll quickly go over that though. But yeah, I'm being Aston Villa again. Hopefully we can survive the Premiership, build a team up, and maybe even get back into Europe and that sort of stuff. This here, I mean, this is just the usual. We used to get this in the email, so I think you know as me what it's going to say. It says, about us being confirmed appointment in Old Man Sudor, takes over Dean Smith, blah, blah, blah. If you've played Football Manager before, you have seen this. If not, you've probably read it as I was waffling on. Next one is obviously just a little bit of a history one from the looks of it. You've got a reputation of 3.5 stars, predicted to finish 16th. I think that's about right, if you ask me. Assistant managers, John Terry. You've got Jesus Pritchard, I just call him Pritchard, as director of football. Obviously looks like he's doing good. We shows we finished 5th in the Championship last season, got through on the playoffs, and obviously Villa, one of the big clubs, one of the most successful clubs over the last 120 odd years, whatever it is, almost probably 150 years coming up nowadays. We've been European champions, we've won the league. Obviously over the last maybe 20-30 years haven't had as much success, but we were a huge club when in like I said, back in the 80s and that, and over time we were a massive club. Got fierce rivalries against Birmingham, West Brom and Wolves. I'd put Walsall in there as well because they're just down the road, but they're never anywhere near the same league as us. Right, this one here, so this is obviously your usual sort of best 11. They're playing it as a 4-2-3-1, which I can understand that. The only thing looking at this I can't quite understand is why Jota is there when I'd have Grealish there, and would have one of the new guys, either Marvellous Nakamura, is it? I think his name is, or something like that, and David Luiz. Sorry, I was looking there. David Luiz instead, if we were playing this sort of formation. But overall the rest of the team I think is pretty we'll go through the team in a little bit more. So you got some lone players out there, likes of the youngsters like Green and O'Hare, Hayes and Bree are all there. The youngsters, Scott Hogan is obviously a little bit older, but they're the ones to maybe keep an eye on. Some of these young ones, see how they get on. Get through to the next one. This is obviously the big thing, the club vision, which is a new thing in FM20. Obviously this will be different for every single team, I would imagine. Some of them may be similar, but let's see quickly what Villa need to do. So do not sign players over the age of 28. So we want to keep a young squad. Obviously Villa had quite an aging squad for the last few years, so they're looking for youth, I guess, and that sort of stuff. Play attacking football, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. So they're definitely looking for those young players, might be able to get a little bit cheaper, who we can use. Play entertaining football, as my daughter's trying to get in the door. Sign players to sell for a profit. That's the one thing I'm not sure I quite like the look of. Obviously someone like Mcginn would be one. We've brought him 3.5 million. He's being touted at 50 million to Manchester United now. I mean, if we get 35 million for him, obviously that's a good profit for Aston Villa, isn't it? Maintaining self-sustainability is the big one though. Obviously Villa, well known for having financial troubles over the last couple of years, so obviously they're looking for us to solve that. Working within the wage budget is required as well. Looking at the importance, you've got favoured, preferred, required, desired. I mean, I'm guessing favoured is, it would be nice if you did that. Preferred is that they would definitely prefer it. That's definitely something you should look at doing. I would imagine desired is something you should definitely try and do, and required is obviously you've got to achieve these or you'll be sacked, sort of thing. What else have we got though? So yes, right, avoid relegation first season, that's understandable. 5th round and 4th round, obviously Carabao Cup, well, we could be potentially in the semi-final with a bye. We'll wait and see. If you don't know what I'm talking about, as of today we are in the quarterfinals against Liverpool, but they might not play it. Right, so what we've got, end of season next season would be get the established club, obviously finishing a good mid-table position, top half the season after that, and then trying to get some silverware. Obviously we're going to try and do things a little bit quicker than that, but it looks like over the next sort of 5 years they want us to sort of build the team into something that's going to be challenging either for titles or cups, that sort of stuff. Right, so we've got here some arrangements, scheduled press conference, yes. This is all done usually, like I said, in sort of your meetings and all that sort of stuff, isn't it? So we'll quickly get through that. As you can see, I haven't saved anything yet, so we'll quickly save that up as I'm talking. Obviously, Aston Villa are my team. I do support them. I did try doing them last year. Obviously, I had to stop. I've been through it before. I'm not going to go through it all over again. So I'm really looking forward to doing this for a good number of seasons. We'll quickly go through the team. We'll quickly tell you what sort of players I think we need to buy, or what positions we need to improve on, and that sort of stuff. Or who we can get rid of, and that. And maybe quickly look at the tactics. We'll see what the time is though, because I don't want to go on for too long, but it's obviously going to take a little while. Right, so we've got this. This is all looking very familiar from last season. Obviously, tactics. Obviously, they've got a club visionary there. You can accept it. We will accept it. I'm not going to play around with that for the first gameplay going through. You've got your pre-season preparation. Obviously, a lot of injury risks and conditioning. They're coming back off pre-season. What else you got? Squadron selection, pre-season fitness report. Everyone's looking like they're good, apart from James Chester. Transfer window. Obviously, we had some big transfers. You had Harry Maguire going to Man U. Obviously, Hazard went off to Real Madrid. And Pepe went to Arsenal. I love that. Sunderland brought 28 players. Oh, I didn't realise they brought that many. They really need to get themselves out of League One and back into at least the Championship very quick. This looks all again very similar as if you've played it before. I'll go through all this myself about who's going to be captain, free kick, corner takers, that sort of stuff. Yeah, if you've played Football Manager, you know that screen. Let's go through the squad though. We'll go through it quickly and then we'll quickly look at the tactics. I've got an idea of the tactic I'm going to play. We'll see how it goes. Big thing I see here, first off, we've got 4 goalkeepers. We can probably get rid of one of them, which would probably be Nyland. He's listed anyway. Never really did anything. I felt he came into the squad and just never really did anything. We can get rid of him. I don't think he's surplus to requirements. I don't think he's a bad goalie. I just think he never really fitted properly. Katja, I can never say his name, but yeah, the other guy we might possibly look at getting rid of. We'll maybe keep him as third keeper. Is Lovre Kanik. I'm messing it up now completely. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we've got Heaton, who's going to be our number 1 choice. He's what is there to say about Heaton? Obviously, England goalkeeper, has been played for England, had a number of caps. I'm not quite sure exactly how many caps he's got. 3 caps, it looks like. But he's been quite stable, sort of around the Burnley for many years. Obviously, started off as a Manchester United youngster. Really good goalkeeper, lots of experience. But I think he was a great buy for us overall. Jed Steer as well, who was a bit of a god in the last season for us. Played really well coming towards the end of last season. Was as important as any other player, I feel. And had some amazing saves. Helped us obviously in the playoffs as well. He's going to be our second string keeper. Or second keeper. So I feel a bit sorry for him. He should have maybe got a go, but we did need someone with that experience in Tom Heaton, so I understand why we ended up getting him. Right, Frederick Gilbert. Looks like a really good right back. In real life, he started fantastic, and I think his stats and that look okay. He's got a little bit of potential. He's only 24 years old, still young, can improve quite a bit. Obviously, he's a new player for us, but we did actually buy him last season and then sent him back out on loan. So hopefully, he can do a really good job for us. Chester is Chester. He's injured. Decent-ish enough central defender. Probably won't be our second, third, or fourth choice, but he's maybe always good. He might be someone we look to get rid of, unfortunately. 30 years old, he's probably getting to that part where he's a little bit older now. Like I said, he's been a brilliant service for us. Then we have Engels. Engels looks really good. I really like this guy. I think he looks really good. He started the season really well for us. He's got a good partnership going with Mings. His stats look really good. He looks like he's a physical boy. Got pretty decent sort of technicals as well. And I think he can improve a little bit more. He's only 24 years old. I think he'll definitely be there with the man Mings. Mings, probably, I think, one of the best defenders in the league at the moment in real life. Obviously, he had a bit of a torrid sort of career with injuries and that sort of stuff. Never really sort of managed to cement a place, but he seems to have came to Villa and really fitted in and seems to be doing well. Obviously, just made his England debut in that horrible match in Bulgaria. And handled it like a trooper. I just think he's an absolutely fantastic player, and I think if he stays fit and everything like that, I think he'll be one of the best defenders in the league over the next couple of years. Courtney Hayes looks decent enough central defender, probably going to be our third choice central defender, and that obviously was on loan last year, came from Wolves. Then we've got Konza.
Konza looks like a good, decent central defender as well. Again, he's a youngster. I think was it Brentford. That was it. Brentford he came from. We'll have to wait and see with him. He'll definitely be there or thereabouts again. He can always do a job for us, I feel. He's got bags of potential, which is a lot of the Villa squad's got bags of potential. Matthew Targett obviously came in this season as well. Obviously, Villa brought a lot of players. Came in from Southampton. Never, again, didn't play too much for Southampton, but looks like a decent player. I think he can do a decent job for us. Between him and Neil Taylor for that left-back position, either one will do a decent job. Obviously, Taylor is getting on about 30 years old now, so Targett maybe will probably be our first choice with Taylor as backup. Then we have Neil Taylor. There's not much really to say about him. He's a decent left-back, does a decent job. I do suspect about his tackling and his defending at times. They're rating him reasonably highly here. But he does a decent enough job, and he's even if he's second choice, he'll always be a decent player to have in my squad. Then we've got a marvellous player, Nakamamba. Again, I can never get his name right. Decent defensive midfielder. I thought he started off a little bit poor. Probably needs to have a season, maybe a second string or something like that. But he looks like a decent player. When he plays well, he plays really well. Definitely would be there. Between him and Douglas Luiz for that sort of midfield defensive role there. Douglas Luiz, though, looks like something special. 21 years old. I know Man City highly touted him and didn't want to really get rid of him. It was all to do with work permits and that sort of stuff. I love that. I think he's a really good player. I think he's just got back into the Brazil squad, and I think he'll be fantastic. El Mohamady. Not much to really say about El Mohamady. You know, he's a worker, can do all down that right hand side for you. It's great to have there as backup. Korahunan as well, another one who I don't think will be our first choice, but he's always good to have in the squad, especially if you want to play a bit more attacking. It's got a wicked free kick on him and should do absolutely fantastic. A bit of a workhorse in that sort of midfield for you. So he'll definitely be playing a part in our team. Got Henri Lansbury as well, a player who I feel sorry for. I feel like he's never had a really good crack with Villa. He plays some good football. He's a good player at the end of the day. Unfortunately, we might have to get rid of him. I might keep him for a season because we need to obviously have rotation in that. But 28 years old, he's getting on a bit now. Well, he's not getting on that much really, but you know what I mean. And he's a decent player. I think he'll do a good job for us. Like I said, that's maybe that third choice or something like that in central midfield. Can play a bit more attacking as well if we need to. Then we come to John Mcginn, who I think has been an absolute breath of fresh air for many people in the Premiership this season. I really do like John Mcginn. I think he's absolutely an outstanding player. I don't know why, but I always think he reminds me of Paul Scholes, but he can tackle a little bit better. Can play a more attacking role. Has got some absolutely fantastic shots in him. Obviously, just does the business. I think he's absolutely good. Obviously, the likes of Manchester United are reportedly looking at him for about £50 million. We paid £3 million for him from Hibs. If we can get £50 million for him, it'll be a difficult one. Do we let him go or not? But absolutely brilliant player. I think he's been one of our best players this season so far, and hopefully in the game will do absolutely brilliant for us as well. El Ghazi, winger, obviously did really well for us last season. It started off pretty well this season. Definitely looks like he fits in the Premiership. Whether he can really improve and crack on to being something more special than he is, I don't know. But yeah, he's a decent player. Jota, I'm not sure about this guy. At times I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Other times I think he's just a good backup player or a good squad player. He'll definitely have part to play. He can play sort of obviously on that right hand side for us as well. We'll need him for like rotations, that sort of stuff. I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's he's not a proper like world class Premiership player or anything like that. But this guy, Trezeguet, I think this guy could be something special. I really do. He started off really well on the left. I think he's still got a little bit of learning to do about the Premiership, that sort of stuff. But I think he started off quite well, and he looks like a decent player. Obviously, still very young, 24 years old, and over the next couple of years could definitely improve. And I think he's definitely one to watch over the course of the next couple of seasons. Then we come to Jack Grealish. Absolutely fantastic player. He's wanted. Who's he wanted by? Chelsea and Manchester United. 23 years old. Looks like an absolute star. I think he's shown a lot of pundits what he's really capable of at the beginning of the season. Hopefully he'll get into the England squad very, very soon. Just absolutely fantastic player. He's just amazing. over there. Then we come to Jonathan Katja, probably one of the players I definitely will sell. I just don't think he's good enough for the Premiership. I like Katja. I think he's done a great service for Villa over the last couple of years. I just think he's a good Championship player, but the Premiership's just one step too far, unfortunately. Like I said, I like Katja. I think he's a bad player, and I think he's done really well for Villa over the last couple of years, but again, I just don't think he's going to be good enough. Same as Scott Hogan. Scott Hogan, a great Championship player. I just don't know if he can take a step. He's actually on loan to Stoke for this season. He'll probably be someone we maybe look to get rid of next season, but he's again done really well. He's not had a massively fantastic season for us whenever he's played, but he's not a bad player. And then we come to Wesley, young Brazilian guy. Obviously got him from a Belgian team, Genk, I think it was it Club Brugge? Sorry. Looks like a fantastic player. Looks like he could be something really good. Target man, big, strong, got a lot of physical and mental. Look really good. He's just a good sort of hold up play sort of player for us. So hopefully he can do a decent job for us. We'll wait and see. I think we do need another striker. We need more of an out and out striker. We've got Davis in probably the development centre. This is obviously new. We're going to look through this on another episode actually a little bit more. If we go to the squad, we should have Kieran Davis somewhere under. If we go to the ability like that, it should be there somewhere. There he is. He's actually injured. How long is he injured? Oh no, he's injured for like 6 to 7 months. Come on, Football Manager. He's playing at the moment. He couldn't have been injured for that long overall. 21 years old, looks like a decent player. I think he's more of a pressing forward like they've put there, but we need someone like that, maybe someone a little bit better than him. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with his injury, that sort of stuff. We'll see how he goes though. We'll definitely keep an eye on him overall. A couple of other players, like I said, Andre Greeno, who I mentioned earlier, I think Murphy and all that lot, players to keep an eye out of. Some of them have got great potential. You look at some of the potential. Jacob Ramsay, another one who's got 18 years old, could be a really good, exciting attacking midfielder. There looks like he's got bags of potential, decent stats actually for an 18-year-old. Maybe need to get him out on loan for a season or two in sort of Championship or League One, so he can really start getting something there. And if we go to the under-18s, there's one or two decent players as well who really look like they could be something special. If I press that button there, you got Wright. Looks like he could be something nice. It looks like he's got some very good stats, and at 17 years old, could be something very, very special. Overall, Aaron Ramsay as well looks like he could be a decent player at 16. Yeah, there's some exciting youngsters in this squad overall. Tactics wise, I haven't really decided what we're going to do. I'm probably going to start off with like a tiki-taka. Probably something like this I feel might be a decent one, and then we might have a second formation of this where we can play a bit more attacking for against maybe the teams that will be around us or below us, or what we feel will be around or below us, and that in the Premiership. I don't think there's any point playing this sort of formation against Man City, Liverpool. That sort of stuff will get killed. We need to be a bit more defensive, a little bit more careful. But when we're playing maybe Brighton or Sheffield United or Norwich, or teams that should be around us or something like that, I think we'll go for something along there. But I'll have a little play of it all in before the next episode, and then we'll work out what tactic we're going to do. Apart from that, guys, I don't know if there's much else. Staff-wise, we need to get a bit more staff in. We've got terrible staff in at the moment, so we definitely need to look at some staff. And overall though, I think it should be something very, very special for Villa this season. I think if we can finish maybe anywhere above 14th is going to be a good season for us overall. We'll see how we get on though. Crystal Palace, it looks like it's our first game of the season. Actually, I didn't see who we got. We've got any decent sort of Galatasaray is going to be a decent one. Might add one or two more friendlies in there. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the first episode. It's just a quick introduction to the squad. Obviously, next episode we'll have a look at maybe some players, see who I've sold, see if I've brought anyone. Maybe play the first game of the season, maybe explore a little bit more of FM20 as we go along, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. It really would help me, and comment. Let me know how excited you are for the game and what teams you're managing, all that sort of stuff. I really would like to hear from you guys about that. Come and follow me on Twitter as well if that's already. It's been a pleasure as always. I will see you on the next episode, which should hopefully be out very, very soon. Bye for now.